Let's go Bucks to Pacers.
Oh man,
I want him to start this.
this is
Mr. Bucks fan. See the deer, fear the deer.
no Giannis was
Maybe.
was
Well, I think game one.
because
Is it official for game one?
Huh?
So not official?
It's still not official.
Not official.
But just missing Giannis, even like Giannis not even at 100%. I still just think that this is probably the Pacers series. Even if Giannis is at 80%, I still think this is the Pacers series. I just think the Pacers are just so good offensively, whereas like the Bucks have so many question marks defensively that like if you're not getting full Giannis, I think it's just going to be hard for you to win this series, especially when you're talking about being able to get stops at a consistent rate. The Bucks just haven't shown that at all this season. And one thing the Pacers are good at is pushing the tempo and playing fast. The Bucks do not want to play fast. So it's going to be hard for them to come out in this, I think. I think the Pacers can like have some runs where the Bucks can't really respond unless you're getting full Giannis and Dame is playing at all NBA type level where we know he can play it, but he hasn't shown us all season. That's probably the only way I can see them coming out of this series.
Yeah, I said that if Giannis misses only game one, then I'm okay with Bucks in 7. If he misses more than game one, then give me Pacers.
I think game one is so important for them that I think if the Pacers steal it and they take home court advantage, I can see the Pacers coming out of this in 6 and just protecting home court.
Would you argue that the Bucks have the 2 best players in the series, or is Tyrese higher than Dame at this moment in time?
I would say they're
Considering
probably
that
two
both
best
of them
players.
haven't been very good for the last month or so.
I would still say the Bucks still got the 2 best players. I think Tyrese is not too far behind Dame in terms of like what he's done this season. But
It's just that they both went through like a slump.
yeah, and my thing is just this: Giannis, we already know is questionable, and he's dealing with his injury. Like Dame is not 100% either. Like he's been going through some things. He's talked about how he had like abductor strain and all that, and how he's kind of needed these couple of days off to get better or to get prepared for Sunday. So that just doesn't, again, move my confidence for the Bucks, kind of knowing that they're dealing with this. And the Pacers, for the most part, they're relatively healthy.
I think Dame's issue is the off-court stuff. I don't think it has to really do with health. Like he just said recently in an interview that he has a lot of off-court stuff going on that could be draining him mentally. So like if you're not mentally engaged because you're dealing with a divorce, it's kind of tough to deal with that on a day-to-day basis and hoop at the same time at a high level. That's probably why you're seeing him go through this slump and like not look like the same Damian Lillard we're used to.
The silver lining is that Dame averages 29 points per game without Giannis. So if he's gone for the first game, it's not like, I mean, Dame did have a stinker in that last game versus the Magic, I want to say.
Yeah.
But he has had really good games. Like they've had some of their best wins of the season without Giannis there.
They have.
So it makes it possible, in my opinion. But
You're going to need a Bobby Portis game.
definitely multiple Bobby.
Can I ask you a
games.
question?
Bobby
Yeah.
always plays good when Giannis ain't there.
If the Bucks lose this, what do they do? That's 2 first-round exits in back-to-back years after a monumental trade to bring in a superstar in Damian Lillard. You fired Adrian Griffin. You brought in Doc Rivers. I mean, I'm not here to panic and create division, but I'm just super, super curious in a league that is such results-driven. We just talked about the Timberwolves. We talked about the Kings. And we all have our certain perspectives, but these, as crazy as they be sounding, these are the way that the NBA top execs be talking, apparently. I think that's why fans are so quick to just be like, man, blow it up.
Did Chris Middleton just take the extra year, or did he resign a new deal?
He signed. He's for $30 million a year.
I feel like you might have to try to trade. You're gonna have to trade it. You're gonna have to make a trade. And
I just don't think they also don't have they don't have a lot of draft capital either.
No, they do not.
they're gonna have to bring in
it's
some
hard.
new people. I
It's
feel
gonna
like
be hard for them to bring in bodies. They don't have draft picks, and they don't really have many valuable assets that people want.
My question is, who wants Chris Middleton? And if they do, what do they have to give him? Say hypothetically, the Kings want Chris Middleton. What are the Kings giving
Then
you?
you're not
Kevin
getting Keegan
Huerter?
Murray.
what about the Grizzlies?
Yeah, it's Keegan it's Kevin Huerter, it's Harrison Barnes, just financially to make it happen.
Do you take that for 2 extra bodies?
Nah.
I don't even think the Kings take that. The way Chris haven't been able to stay
Right,
healthy
and they
over
would like the
last-
flexibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
What if you bring in? See, it's just
I just think
it's
that-
hard because
yeah.
Chris Middleton, he's not
not
the
a
same
bad
Chris
player
Middleton,
at
but
all,
yeah, it's
yeah.
like he still brings a lot to the team.
absolutely. That's
and
why
I'm thinking
I said
about
like
what value could you bring back, and I was like, the Grizzlies could maybe use a wing. Somehow you get like a deal with like Marcus Smart or something like that, and like you bring some other stuff in.
You might be cooking.
But it's just like, can he replicate some of the offense that Chris Middleton brings?
Oh, absolutely not. You're not.
But he's going to
asking him.
supplement that with the defense.
Yeah, you're
so
not
I think
asking
you
him
got to
to.
like pick and choose. But it's just no way that they have. They just get Giannis to resign back, and he's like, we got him. They bring in Dame. There's just no way you just fold your cards that quick.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's you lose in the first round exit or something like that. It's just no way you fold your cards. They got to make a trade, and I feel like Chris Middleton's probably got the next highest value.
He's guaranteed $31 million next year, then a player option for 34 the year after, which he'll take because
that's gonna be the last.
So you got him
money.
for 2 more years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Detroit is probably going Tobias Harris. They probably don't want
That's
Chris
been
Middleton
rumored
back.
so much in the last few days,
He wants money. They want somebody.
They want an A body.
and because they have so much cap space, it's gonna
Gotta
be similar
use
to
it.
Fred VanVleet.
I
where
guess
he's
both
gonna
of them
get bagged.
technically are in play with they have $64 million in cap. It ain't like Tobias Harris gonna get another $35 million annually deal.
Yeah.
So it's you just pray if you're a Bucks
What do
fan
the
that don't
Pistons?
happen.
What would the Bucks want from the Pistons?
That's the nothing. They don't really. You want Isaiah
Can't even
Stewart
get
to
Bojan
fight?
Bogdanovic no more.
Yeah,
And Alec
Sam
Burks.
Fontecchio untouchable.
Fontecchio gonna get a good $12 million annually. He gonna feel real good about it. Y'all saw Yuta Watanabe is retiring from the
Yes,
NBA.
and he's going to play in Japan.
Yeah, man, sad stuff.
Good for him.
mental health stuff. So get well soon.
Go home.
Yeah,
That's what I
I'm sure
say.
that homesick stuff is real,
Always
bro.
go home. And that's my answer. Some shit, hey, man, I'm going home. I'm going to my mama's crib.
Yeah, out in Tokyo because he big in Japan.
You were crazy. I also think that scares me for the Bucks in this series, especially if Giannis is not playing. They don't get to the basket without Giannis,
No, yes,
and that's exactly
Well,
what the
I think-
Pacers want you to do.
Either
Malik
I just
Beasley
seen it on
put
on
pressure on
TV
him.
when they showed the stats, or maybe D Mills even brought it up because he been a numbers guy, but he was like, Giannis is averaging like 40 some points in their
oh yeah,
series.
he is averaging.
It's just
40-something
like,
points
how
against
do
the
you
Pacers.
replace 40 damn points? You know that's 10 plus rebounds. You know it's the defense. It's very hard to replicate that when you needed him to win those games.
And Indiana, one of the best teams in the league at forcing turnovers. The Bucks are literally dead last in the league at forcing turnovers.
Yeah.
So that's where the transition players don't come into factor. Where like the Pacers, if they could force turnovers and push the break, that's gonna be Dame and Malik Beasley don't want to get. They not
And-
that type of defenders where they go.
It's
Pacers
how do you
got-
expect Tyrese to play? Just because he hasn't been very good.
I
the
think
last
he's
month.
going
I
well,
think he's gonna play. I think he's gonna play really good because against the Bucks defensively, they can't really match up with him, and they don't really have anybody that can really make him uncomfortable.
But I don't even think that's been the problem with Tyrese for the last month or so. He just is not moving great.
And I just think,
Can
but
I-
he's also had over a week off. Maybe
Can I
that,
tell you
maybe
this
that can
too?
help.
And credits again to D Mills. I think he mentioned this way early in the season when he was talking about his favorite players. TJ McConnell plays very good in the minutes he gets.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
He will put up 10 plus points, play hell of a good defense. He will make game changing impact in the 15, 20 minutes he plays.
And he sometimes just pick up full court.
He does.
The Pacers have to win this first game.
Yeah, they do.
If they're going to win this series, they have to win this
You have to
first game.
capitalize on Giannis potentially not being there, or just getting a wounded Giannis.
You have to.
If
Gotta
Giannis
smell
doesn't
blood in
play
the
his
water,
game,
baby.
if Giannis doesn't play his game one and they lose,
He's not
I
playing
don't think.
game one.
Well,
He
That's
could,
confirmed?
he could be out 2 to 4 weeks.
I
I
feel
feel
like
confirmed, but if anybody that could be
if
out
they
2 to 4
lose
weeks, he's
game
not going
one-
to play game one. If they lose, he can rush back for game 2. That's
if
just
they
my
lose
thinking.
game one, I feel like it's almost no doubt he playing game. Like he's gonna find a way.
That's just me using my.
Yeah.
Nothing's confirmed, but if you could potentially be out 2 to 4 weeks, you're probably going to miss game 1, and you're going to do what Mike is saying. You're going to base your game 2 off of how y'all played game 1.
And you
Yep.
know what's crazy? That's exactly
What happened last year.
They did this similar thing
Except
last
he
year.
played in the game and got hurt. Yeah.
And they thought they can, sit him for 2 games, and then he took that personally. They came out and smacked that ass. And now, then they ended up getting bounced in the first round.
I be thinking it though. Like I remember speaking of just Giannis and the injuries when they went on that finals run. Remember Giannis got hurt. Like he
Yeah.
looked like he hurt himself badly.
With the D?
And
He
it
came
just
back
didn't.
50
Yeah, he
keys?
just
Yeah.
came back and was
he
still a freak.
hyperextended his knee.
Against
Yeah.
the Hawks.
Yeah.
No, against
Suns, right?
the Suns.
No,
This
the
happened in the
injury
finals.
happened in the. No, it happened. In
I thought
the
it happened
spring-
prior. It happened in one of the prior
series
series.
before.
Oh,
And then-
Oh,
Yeah.
sure did. Because him and Trae Young were both kind of nibbled up.
Okay.
Yeah, sure did.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Think I'm gonna try to rap, pull up,